Hey, Cherry here with a quick report on the mission we're taking on. This is Burden Street Station, a surreal abstract narrative adventure. It's been reported to us that God has mysteriously disappeared on one of the worlds within this universe, and time's no longer moving, so it's left its inhabitants reeling with confusion. It's going to be our job today to solve this mystery, and I suspect that we'll be meeting some friends along the way who can help us on our mission. But just to be on the safe side, in case this world isn't familiar with fox spirits, let's change into our human form. It's been a funky week. I was like contemplating on streaming today, but I actually really wanted to check out this game. It looked super interesting. It's giving like 90s underground Newgrounds vibes. Really old school vibes. They had sent me the press kit. The studio has like one of the best guides that I've seen. Guides in quote. It's called a review guide, but it's basically just like a breakdown of like things about the game, and it looks so pretty. I'm so used to like getting stuff from like other games, and it's like, you know, like just a Google Doc, and it's like kind of plainish, but like this one's like all designed and everything, and I was like, okay. I actually was really surprised when I opened it. I like couldn't stop like going through it either. I even like checked out some of the upcoming games that they have, or that the publisher has, and like all of those look really interesting too. Like the art style is so I think it's just like really stuck in my brain because I'm so used to like a particular style of game, right? So like to see like an art style like this, it was like scratching a really deep brain itch that I didn't know I had. I looked at the guide, but I didn't really like actually retain anything. All I remember is that like we are in a place where God has disappeared, and like we're supposed to go find them, but we're also like a worker. But it's kind of like a point and click kind of situation. I'm doing a horrible job at selling this. I didn't even change my category, huh? I love you. I have a 100% bad job of explaining, but I'm interested. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the case for anything, but it looks really cool. Mandate 7.1. A life is an accumulation of moments. Mandate 7.2. A moment is a commodity to be harvested. Mandate 7.3. The librarian's purpose is to sort the harvest. Mandate 7.4. The Celestials await their support. That sounds rather cryptic. Do not be inefficient. The city hadn't changed much. Same storefronts, same miserable faces milling about. Oh. She was by the statue downtown, scraping up the thin layer of coins from her guitar case. He walked right past her at first. She was a different shape, different form, not the person he once knew. When she called his name, a name only she could know, they almost squeezed the life out of each other there, in the shadow of the protector. A pile of questions many years high loomed over them. They would have to wait. So, that's my moment. What do you think, librarian? What kept them apart in the first place? They were like two birds trapped in a cage. Only one found a way out and broke free. The other, like the cage, it's safe and warm after all. That's where they stayed, till the cage came apart, and they had nowhere else to go but away. So, you're going to sort me now, huh? Do what you must, librarian. I think you'd fit the moon shelf well. Yeah, I can see why you picked that. We have more than these shelves, right? I fear our library is rather small if these are our only shelves. Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. Okay, here it is. It started out benign. A curiosity of sorts. He'd stumbled upon a few strange forms late at night while everyone else was asleep. What he found there consumed him completely. He stopped returning calls, started showing up late for meals, or not at all. The walls crawled with printouts, diagrams, pins, and thread. When his partner asked him, begged him to stop, he told them they were compromised and that they can't see the truth. So She simply left one night. No fighting, no crying, only a parting shot. I don't know who you are anymore. He stood in the kitchen, strangling a cold cup of coffee. Like it owed him an explanation. It doesn't add up to me. How could he not see the truth all along? It's surprising, isn't it? When people get themselves into bad situations like this, it can be so slowly that they don't even notice. Like a frog in boiling water. Stood in the kitchen, strangling a cold cup of coffee. Change personality by clicking on a body part or... Well, that wasn't very nice of her. Good. Sounds like the shock did him a world of good. Oh, maybe this one? I guess it depends on your inbuilt morality system. Most mortals would think she was justified. You are not most mortals. Oh. Is it this one? Correct. Thought he was protecting them from danger. But in doing so, it's like he lost sight of why he was protecting them in the first place. The notebooks are still in a drawer. He doesn't open them anymore. But he kept one page. The one with her name circled, nothing else besides. So, then, where should I go? This is a Moonshelf story for sure. Son, I think this counts as a happy ending.
No!
This is obviously a storm story. What is a storm story? Yeah, I think so too. You've got a great eye, librarian. Yeah? What? Just put me back. You're supposed to tell me a moment, so I can categorize you for celestial consumption. I don't need to tell you anything. My moment is awesome. Perfect, even. Too good for the likes of you. Damn, okay. So put me back. Don't look at me like that. I don't know either. How unusual. This erratic behavior must be reported at once. Oh no, I have to tell someone. This is bad. You're a liar. Let's see what management says. That one's a bit aggressive for me. Maybe this one. Oh no, I have to tell someone. This is bad. What? Seriously? I am a perfectly normal book. How dare you? Listen, just put me back and the collector never has to find out what you said about me. Besides, even if I had a moment, what makes you think I would tell you of all... You didn't hear that. Wait, where are you taking me? Hey, welcome to the As section. Please feel free to interact with my collection. Is there anything to interact with? Oh. Observer. Keen observational skills given to you by the collector. Originally used for sorting sentient books, now used for analyzing people. It's stating the obvious. That one's forward. This one's obedient and hopeful. Compliance learned under the collector while working in the Grand Archive, now used to motivate and relate to others. And the ambulator. The cynical impatience drilled into you by the collector to keep your work punctual and efficient, now used for spurring on conversations that are dragging. Oh, perfectly normal book is not a perfectly normal book. It has to tell people, right? What do you mean I have to tell people I'm normal all the time? You are also not a book, though. We're gonna have a nap, okay. Oh, I opened her for that. Whoa. B-boy. Oh. The collector hasn't noticed you yet, immersed in his monitor. feel attention. Someone so lowly as you should only... Do you really think they're going to care? Aren't they super important or something? Worker 24AEB. Why are you in my office? You should be working. I understand you're busy. I can wait. I have an issue. They have an issue. Well, I have an issue to report. This book has no moment. I am working right now. I have an issue to report. This book has no moment. Is that it? I don't know. I told worker 2488B or whatever their name is to put me back. But no, here we are, wasting your time. Wasting my time. It's true. I have far graver matters to tend to. In fact, I may have use of you. What? Whole world in our network stopped turning just now. No advance notice, no warning signs we could pick up on. It seems to live, but it's frozen. Nothing new happens. No more moment. No more product. The god tasked with building and caring for this world has also gone missing. There is a clear correlation. They must be held accountable. I need someone to get to the bottom of this. But all my sentinels are already busy. So, why not you two? Us? Me and me eater? Hey, excuse you. At least I'm filled with something. What's this? Or the wood chipper for you? You are a horrific anomaly I want nowhere near my collection. Well, I mean, okay. Perhaps you'll also get your moment while accompanying my worker. At the very least, you'll have done something semi-useful with your short life. When do we leave? Yep, I knew it. Why wouldn't he just dispose of us? We're never coming back. But I was a good worker. No, this is just a test, I know it. Thought you didn't want to be there, and that's kind of true. Thought you didn't want to be there anyway. But that's the thing, I did. None of the other workers ever had an issue with me before. They just put me back and make it someone else's problem. I was getting along just fine that way until you plucked me out. I just realized, you have absolutely no idea what's outside the Grand Archive, do you? Oh, wow. I'm about to blow your half-baked mind so hard. Okay, so check it out. Look out the window. Why do you think you're never allowed to actually read the book? There are no worlds, no ink. The archive literally traps actual moments inside us. Coffee with friends, first dates, breakups, tragedies, comedies. Real lived lives pressed to our pages forever. This is where they're harvested. Look at those fibers. I bet you had no idea there was a literal farm of worlds right outside where you sleep at night. The collector would never let a worker like you know. That's why we can't go back. This is a one-way ticket. You doomed us both to it. Speaking of tickets, the conductor is coming. We should get ready to show ours. The collector did give you one, right? Maybe? Give me strength. Okay. Yo. You're mad lucky, you know? Feel ain't free and the archive is outside my usual route. Everything has a price. Anyway, we'll be arriving at your stupid dead planet soon. Give me your ticket. I wasn't given a ticket, sorry. Is there maybe an alternative way? Conversation is getting too long. Oh no, that's not, maybe this one? There may be an alternative way? What do you mean an alternative way? Kid, this isn't the movies. You can't just join a company and work off what you owe. We have interview processes and regulations and stuff. Can't let you off the train if you don't have a ticket. Got it? So either go figure something out or stop trying to be funny and just show me your ticket. Oh, I can leave. Don't go too far. Why, huh? Memo has something to say. How to... This memo? The hell is with this guy? He came this far already. Who does he think he is? Hey, listen. The only other thing we could try is talking to other commuters. Maybe they have a spare ticket we can borrow or something. It's embarrassing, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Hi. Their name is Scooby. I overheard you saying you don't have a ticket. I've heard the conductor traps the souls of anyone who doesn't pay on the train, and then uses them as fuel for the engine. I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh my god. I guess it would. Regardless, I remain ticketless. I would be the best fuel. Hell no, what am I supposed to say to this guy? I feel like this is a bit more productive. I guess it would. Regardless, I would remain ticketless. Indeed you do. I can offer no other help than the word of advice. You're not in the archive anymore. People are far more complex than simple books. So, listen closely. The more you speak with people, the more insight you build up. You can't get them to open up. You can burn all that insight to see beyond the veil. You will be able to read into what sort of responses work and which ones don't. Just like you did with all those talking books all your life. However, each time you do this, it'll burn you out. You must find a place to rest and untangle your thoughts. The more burned out you are, the slower insight builds up. The ability to extra consciously understand what makes a person tick. Isn't that interesting, little librarian? I simply adore you, little walking information sponges. Come talk to me again anytime. Okay. Curious. You're one of those brainless worker drones of archive bursts. I wonder why you're here. Get me off and not sorting shelves back home. Bit of a stick up your ass, ain't you? That book you got is interesting though. She for sale. Don't even think about touching me. Huh. Okay. But if you're not selling moments, then what are you doing here? Could ask the same as you. I'm on a mission from the collector to find out why God went missing in one of the worlds. I'm going to puke on you on purpose. That doesn't seem productive. I could ask. No, that seems antagonistic. But, well, I mean, do we match their energy? I'm on a mission from the collector to find out why God went missing in one of the worlds. No way. Or did you just escape? Either way, I don't really care. Golems like you are a dime a dozen. I won't report you, especially if you want to sell me that book. I don't even have a moment, jackass.
That sounds like a you problem.
I could ask the same of you. Well, as it happens, I'm actually on the way back from the archive too. My favorite moments are all out of stock. I don't know what I'm going to post now. Do you want a link to my blog? I transcribe only the weirdest, most embarrassing moments. It's a great read if you can't afford to buy moments directly. A great read if you can't afford to buy moments directly. Oh, you transcribe the moments? Wait, so you're burning the moment, basically.
Yes, I'm a dirty old lady.
Maybe this one? I don't want to see that. What's wrong with you? I mean, they're never going to know, are they? Mere mortals cannot even comprehend the celestial internet. Could you imagine telling them about how not only do most of them have guardian angels, but they make fun of them on forums and image boards, like the clowns that they are? I think it's hardly an issue. Yes. I don't know where this conversation is going. I never gave it much thought. I just stack and sort the books moments come in. Huh. Well, I guess it's fine since you're paying for it and all, right? What if someone made a compilation of all your most embarrassing moments? I feel like this is real life simulator for me trying to figure out what the best dialogue is to say. I don't know, never gave it much thought. I just stack and sort the books and come in. Fuck! Not anymore, clearly. I wonder where you'll go. What stop you'll get off at. Maybe I'll consume a memory with you in it someday. Mortals will be bewildered by the likes of you. To be fair, I feel like it might be this one, yeah. Wait, me? Embarrassing moments? That's stupid. A pathetic mortal to be laughed at. I'm above that. You couldn't even begin to understand what it's like having all eyes on you. Being a celestial is hard, okay? We have to be perfect. Anyone try to make a fool of me, I swear I'd... No, get it. Had I said anything at all? Just shut up. You don't get to see me like that. Nobody does. Extract moment? Oh? Whoa! We have to talk every night. I thought we were best friends. Can I walk through these? Okay. This is trash can. Trash can. Jesus. The Monday he turned on me. Can't forget the things he said. I don't go online anymore, but if he shows up, run. Who's this? What's this? He hasn't changed one bit. He never will. Unlocked shameful? You can't just go crawling around in people's mind just because they're being weird. I'm pretty sure that violates some kind of interplanar law. Well, then again, this could be really, really useful for figuring out this whole god mystery. Why are you giving me that look? Wait. You didn't know you could do that either, huh? Think about it for a second, dummy. How do you think moments get extracted in the first place? You've never used any of those functions, huh? You were just a librarian. This trip might not be so boring after all. Especially if... Hey, meat eater. How do you feel? Clearly something has changed, but I'm not sure what. Yep, sure has. Try again. Well, I don't like that, okay. I feel kind of bad about what I just did. Yep, there it is. You drew from it, that moment. Yes, absolutely, keep doing that. This is how we'll get to the bottom of things. Maybe now you can come up with a way to weasel us out of the whole ticket situation, huh? Where's your ticket? Oh, there's a funny story about that. Oh, what? Using the inspiration gathered from chatting with the other commuters, you spin a complex sob story full of valid-sounding excuses. Damn. I see how it is. Alright. Get out. But don't tell a soul I let you off the hook, alright?
Okay, yeah, that worked.
Must be wondering, Doctor, why are you still here? Well, apparently a giant pipe collapsed on the tracks up ahead. I'm a diligent man. The journey isn't finished until the train has reached the end of the line. That's what I say. I've got all the finest mooks clearing the mess, but for now, I was thinking about going for a walk around Lotown. That's what you should do. Stretch your, legs. I got... Why'd you question if I have legs? I clearly have legs. Vernon Street Station. Well? Oh. I guess this makes 3 of us, doesn't it? What brings you two here? Just a stupid job, that's all. That's so... That's an awful long way to come for just a stupid job. I haven't seen that train pull up since I... Oh. I'm getting ahead of myself. You forgive me. Enjoy your stay. Maybe I'll catch you again before you leave. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright. Thanks, I guess. Man, what a weirdo. But who? Do we not have anything to say to that? Whoa, who are you? The hero's crash site. This is her grave. Every day when I wake up and the sky still hasn't turned, our clocks still haven't advanced. I come here to mourn our strange little world and what it could have been. Take a moment, why don't you? The hero's crash site? Who's the hero? Oh, it is? Oh, wow. Okay. Bye. Every day for work, I sit on the giant scaffold at the far edge of Lotown by the train tracks. I begrudgingly endure the rain creature stories while I clean out the cargo pipes. What's your job like, huh? Huh? Freeloader. Okay, aggressive. Hi. You have a guitar cable that's not going anywhere. Oh. Oh. Hello. You're a funky little guy, huh? What are you doing here? You have a really normal name. I'm sort of a journalist. Yeah? Oh, really? Then you're here to ask about my new album. Right on, little fella. That's the biggest thing I've ever worked on. I'm gonna take over the radio and let it play it out work. There's no way I won't make it. I'm gonna be a millionaire. Man, I'd love to tell you about it. She's getting a lot of action poses. But it's all under wraps for now. It's not ready for the world. Not yet. So, What's your deal in life? You make anything? Art? Music? Something else? I never found the time to do anything but my job. So real. But I've got a mantra I live by. You don't got time? You make time. Every time I'm off work, I go outside and play music. I could probably do dishes or laundry or clean my apartment, but instead, I'm here, perfecting my craft. You should try it sometime. Maybe I could teach you a thing or two. Poetry could be a good start. Yeah. Teach me about poetry. Whoa. Like, right now? Zero hesitation, you just jumped on the offer. You're just like me. That's the sort of determination you need to make it as an artist. I'd totally teach you if I wasn't so busy right now. Ooh. Do we be forward or do we be cynical? Only teach. I feel like she kind of likes talking about herself, right? Like this wouldn't be right. Well, we can see what insight does actually. We use insight. Oh. Right, irrelevant almost. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I was right. Oh, so that's how it is. What are you busy with? I'm busy gathering courage. Daring deeds doth demand something. Determination? No, it needs to rhyme with deeds. The syllable count is wrong too, so it doesn't really roll off the tongue. I think this one makes the most notes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things you need courage for. Took me all day to gather this much of it. Most of the week, actually. Maybe more than a week. But hey, it's always in us. Just has to be mustered up, you know? But what if you don't? Really surprising, really. Yikes. Are you in love with someone? Seems kind of left field. But what if you don't? Oh, fuck. Nah, I will. We will. We all will. Someday. I feel Lydia in my soul. Lydia is also honestly kind of... I want to say kind of a vibe, but that seems like such a non-like descriptor. I like Lydia so far though. If it's not that one, then I'm assuming it's this one. It just seems so random. What? No. No, it's nothing like that, genuinely. Just, there's a cafe I really like nearby here. Maybe you've been. The Holy Crab. The cafe is called the Holy Crab? Well, the food is amazing, but the atmosphere? The manager must really love those gaudy operas. They're always on the stereo when I visit. I would really love to help. They could do with some real music. But how do I approach them about it? Oh, collect an opinion poll of each patron as they leave? No, ask them with your voice. Yeah. Is that pushing too hard? I don't like any of these other ones though. Just ask them. I mean, you can do that? I guess. I guess I can. I totally can. You know what, little buddy? I'm gonna try it. They agree? Well, I guess I'll owe you a poetry lesson, huh? This could be the start of my big break. Oh. What would hers be? Hopeful? No, but we already have hopeful. Happy? Whoa. Huh? I thought I was alone. How did you get in here? Oh, I have... Okay, I had no idea who was talking. I heard you from years away. All this gnashing and grinding. Can't you see I'm busy? Yes, I can. Nothing sticks. These ideas, this matter, it all falls apart. And then, would you like some help? Oh. Nonconformist. You sound the hell out again. Learn anything interesting, or is it just more invasion of privacy? You spent the next few minutes recalling what you saw, detailing everything from start to end. What the? That's pretty abstract. There's something off about this place. There's something off about these people in general. I gotta keep talking to them. It might help us figure this mess out. I'll keep them tracked on my map. Oh? Yo! That's a funky little shape. Oh, wait, why are they mapped all the way the hell up there? Whoa, you good? Can I talk to you? Why am I sitting out here in the rain and not inside? God, I would love to if the humors didn't ban me. Just because my wildest dreams involve serious threats to life and safety? I understand I understand they've got a business to run, but some people are too soft.
What?
What about this dude? Can I... Hello? No, okay. Yeah, you. Never seen you before. Maybe you're tired or low on happy chemicals. You're not interested in... Oh, just your wildest dreams? It's true. The walls listen. They can hear your soul crying. They know what you want and they can give it to you. All this for only the meager price of 5 ideas. What do you say? I don't really need it. One does as one wants, one supposes. I do wonder how comfortable the benches around the city are. Okay, so this is a rest area. Right, let's go up this way, which is where I think we're supposed to go. Rainwater choir? I'm not singing. I can't possibly sing another line. Guilford works us to the bone. He acts like half of Lotown visits a chapel. Some days it's just us, him, and Goodboy. Oh. 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 Okay, I got this. Takes a deep breath before looking at you. You're a piece of crap, and you suck a lot. I hate you because I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm still trying to figure out how a godless world works. I should be committing crimes and atrocities, but saying those things to you just made me feel really bad. Why do I feel so bad if there's no one to judge me? Oh, baby. Oh. Good boy, he truly is. Truly living up to that name. I can judge you. I'm not the right person for this. I think this one. You know, bravery often feels like fear. You sound so that was not the right one. You sound so positive. But are you sure? Really sure? Oh no. Well, you should follow the law? Maybe. The law is just rules we made up. Us imperfect mortals. You cannot follow or believe in us. Mortals are flawed. How can you follow that which isn't perfect? If they make some horrible mistake, wouldn't that reflect on you? I guess, yeah, this maybe. What do you consider a horrible mistake? Well, it's easy. Everyone knows the list of great mistakes. There's a whole list. My favorites are to act holier than thou and to consume food in excess. I know almost all 6 of them by heart. I heard there's a 7th one, but no one ever told me about it. Otherwise, I remember all of them perfectly. Really bad idea to indulge in any of those terrible acts I mentioned. You can do anything you put your mind to. Nope, that's the wrong one. You said this was a godless world. Indeed. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Wait. Sins cannot exist in a godless world. Oh no. I'm going in circles. I wish someone would help me. I may or may not got you. It's not that you're wrong, it's that... But... No, I know I'm wrong. I've been wrong for a long time. I don't believe so, you're just pushing until it breaks. If it breaks, then it's wrong. Oh, hi. What of you? If you break, then I'm wrong. Where do you want me to go? Off the edge? This way? Oh. On one purpose, if I break from doing it, let it be so. Domesticated? Is that a personality? Oh, persona. Okay. Immature and impulsive meals or ends most sentences with a meal. Oh, that's silly. Okay. Oh, okay, wait. So there could be doubles because you two are hopeful. I think I'll go inside to the church apartment. Bilfor might still be there. Maybe he can help me. Church apartment. Is this the church? Can I go in the church apartment? Oh. I just feel so lost. This isn't who I am. I don't mean to bother you, but not long ago I felt a sort of change. I'm not sure how to explain it. It was like a switch being flipped, and suddenly everything went cold. I've never been this cold in my life. I don't know. No, don't say that. I'm not like you. I believe. Or I want to believe badly. Oh, but there's nothing to believe in anymore. Oh. It can't, there's no way. Okay. Social blunder. Memo's disappointed in you. Wait, what happened? Oh. Meow, I got distracted. Can you repeat that? Meow. Meow. Meow is good. Oh. I don't think they're a cat person. Maybe they need cheering up? Need cheering up? This one? No. My heating didn't go out. That would be different. This is a much more internal feeling. Like when you're eating refrigerated like just cold? Like just not heat up? Well, I guess it also kind of depends on what kind of pasta. If it's like antipasta, then like it makes sense if it was cold. But you forgot to put it in the microwave for... Oh, well, okay. love you, good boy, but like, what? It's Chinese noodles. I would still put that in the microwave. What do you mean? So, it was gradual. I noticed it first in my home village years ago. There was a cold gust of wind, and suddenly, its leaves stopped moving. As the grass, the river, the trees. No one else noticed it. They said everything was fine, but something heavy, something sad, suddenly weighed in my heart. All at once, the warmth I used to feel was gone. I don't know what to do. I suggest moving on. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But with no one to worship and no divine edicts to follow. What's stopping me from pillaging and wreaking havoc upon the world? That's what my brother did. Or at least I think so. I haven't seen him for years. What was your brother like? Well, we grew up in a remote village really far away. Everyone in the village got along really well. We'd work on farms, go to mass on weekends, and have wonderful feasts. I actually haven't seen a single horse since I moved to the city. It's just cars and trams everywhere. And then there's something called trains, and some of them run off the edge of the world. Where do they run off to? Everything is so different here. Why is that? You ignored my question, did he? Was your brother like? Oh yeah, I guess he did. You can do anything you put your mind to. Growing world moves fast. Ooh. I don't know. Almost. You ignore my question is right? Can there be multiple right ones? No. You ignore my question. Oh, sorry, I got sidetracked. My brother and our parents never really got along. He'd always do the opposite of what they asked. And they would get really loud sometimes. Mother and father said he was the black sheep of the village. And they told me to avoid getting too close to him. But he was so cool. He always knew what to say and could talk to anyone. He even played music on a guitar he found in a dump one day. One day, he borrowed father's toolbox to repair it while he wasn't looking. Father would get really mad if he touched his workshop. So, my brother did some weird things too. He'd steal mother's clothes sometimes, and then he would put them back. She would lose her mind because of it. Her favorite blue dress would disappear and reappear randomly. Don't tell mother I said this, but it was very funny. Me and my brother would try our best not to laugh. I wish I'd ask him why he took the dresses in the first place. I wish I could meet him again one someday. But I doubt he'll want to.
Oh my baby! Oh my baby!
I see you. Oh, I can't take this anymore. All you do is lecture me. I only want the best for you. You really did. You wouldn't let me find my own way. But your ways are dangerous, impulsive. Who are you, really? I don't know if these are... I can't tell if these are, like, memories. I think they're memories, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's look a little less crazy. Wait, what was the one that we got? Anxious, unimportant, passive and shy, but often profound when it decides to speak. Have you seen the crash site? Some people in Lotown think it's really important, even if it doesn't mean anything, or a made-up story. It's still a nice place to sit and contemplate, I think. I was thinking of going there next. It's near the train station. Okay. I love this fish guy. The coffee here used to be affordable. Who am I kidding? That's still affordable. And the same prices as far back as I can remember. Wish it wasn't, though. Tired of coming up with new things to complain about.
Proper confused? I'm way beyond confused.
The music was really good too in this game. I know I haven't really commented on much, but I really like it. That's what up this is. Goodboy's well, sister, I guess. A sibling. I got the gig. I can't believe it was as simple as just asking. The barkeep said she heard me outside a whole bunch of times. She's going to ask me herself, but she was always pulled away to do something else. Things are really looking up for me. Today the cafe, tomorrow the stage, right? So, I guess I owe you that poetry lesson then, huh? So, something I should mention is that I hate lectures that just yap. So, we'll be doing a more hands-on approach. I'll ask you questions, you answer as best as you can. There can be multiple right answers. It'll be fun, I promise. Question 1. What is poetry? It's whatever you tell me it is. Damn right. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. Well, I'll do my best anyway. Poetry is about expressing yourself. Your feelings, your thoughts, your imaginations. Can be anything. The only requirement is that it comes from the heart. For example, you had worked as a cashier for 10 years. How would you express yourself? I talk about all the people I've served. That's an interesting approach. I've never actually thought about that. Good people, the bad, the timid customers, the absolutely crazy and entitled. And then there are some that just... I'm not sure how to put this. They have perfect hearing but can't understand a single word you say. Even though we speak the same language. Really weird. But yeah, working the same dead-end job for so long could definitely lead to some expressive poetry. Especially if it's the only thing you have experience in, so it's all anyone will hire you for. Now, for the next question. Imagine this situation. Your boss has refused to increase your salary for the 3rd year in a row. How would you write a rhyme about that? Stand up and out and raise your voice. That's not a rhyme. You make a good point. What can we do to further ourselves? Okay, so... Oh... This one? Right on. You did it. Your first rhyme. You're doing great, little buddy. But I want to see more emotion. If it was me, I'd put a lot of anger into it. I'd write about a dozen ways my boss could have his day ruined. For example, you masked up, crazy-eyed, suit-wearing leech. I can't bear another word of your inane speech. I hope your twine catches on a car passing by and your unraveling teaches you what's important in life. The best poetry usually comes from being specific. Like, really specific. I didn't have to bring up his mask. He probably wears it for a reason. But like, all I can see when he's yelling at me. God, what a tool. Anyway, let's move on to the next lesson. Your landlord knocks on the door with a message. I'm raising your rent by 20%. Imagine this in tandem with your lack of a pay raise. Put your feelings into poetry. Feelings! I would punch him in the face. I mean, valid, but... Well... Do you still want us to rhyme? If you don't want us to rhyme, then I would say this. Hell yeah. Wait. I mean, no. Don't do that. I am probably legally obligated to tell you not to do that. Do not punch him in the face until his nose breaks. Absolutely do not kick his chins and then stomp on his shiny brand new shoes. Do not push him out the window and then dive after him with your elbow first. And do not suplex him into the pavement when he least expects it. It would be very bad if you did any of that, especially in that order. We're going to be approaching the most common yet impactful theme in all of poetry. Love. You even be a songwriter if you haven't written about love? I mean, probably can, but like going to the same pizzeria your whole life and only ordering kebabs. You know? Actually, no, that's a terrible comparison. Pizza's my comfort food and I don't write that many love songs. Not that I eat pizza very often either, but like, you get the idea, right? What I'm saying is, you should try writing about love at least once. So let's imagine this scenario. Say you're helping someone pick out clothes in a store. However, while doing so, you notice that this person is extremely beautiful. Can't help but immediately fall in love. Also, they don't really know who you are. You're a total nobody to them. How would you put your feelings into poetry? I guess this one? Yeah. You really put that feeling into words, huh? Makes you wonder if it's worth trying. If you do, the glass box might break, and then you lose whatever emotional stability you had. Not that it was particularly stable to begin with, but you know. Sorry, got a bit carried away there. You did wonderfully. I'm very proud of you. There's really not much more I can teach you, unless you want to learn how to play guitar and compose chords. Frankly, I feel teachered out. Anyway, you pass. Congratulations. Can't offer you a diploma or a certificate or anything, but I can give you a thumbs up and a smile. She gives you a thumbs up and a smile. You notice she's struggling to keep up her expression. What's wrong, bud?
You know why,
Cherry.
you cowbag.
Still learning poetry? We did it. That's fun. One day I stepped back from the blaze. I watched as the billows roared, smoke poured, covered my ears as bells shook the sky. I watched as the world began to grow, fell down before it, lost in awe. It was so beautiful, so impassioned, inspired. But already bricks fell, half imagined, supports gave. I must do something to preserve this terrible majesty. Oh. Unlocked musician. Have you been to the dream rooms? Receptionist is a joy, and also the owner. Think I'm going to stay there tonight after this gig. Okay. It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi. Dear, sorry, but I'm out of hours. You'll have to come back another time. Is what I would say if time hasn't seemed to stand still lately. Something's wrong. Never brightens nor darkens. Clock's tick in place, going nowhere. Now you're here, like a pale horse. Dear, would you bid me read your fortune? Free of charge, of course. I believe we may be working towards the same goal, us two. Wait, how do you know that? Little spirit book. There are only two types of people left in Lotown I can see. Those who pretend everything is fine, and those who are self-absorbed in fear that it may not be. You stick out. You're from another world. You must have taken the hyper train. But the station on Burden Street shut down years ago. Curious. Now, allow me. Go for it. Wonderful. I wonder what these are. Wait, if she's doing a fortune reading on us, are we exploring our minds? Are we still exploring hers? Whoa! Who's reading who here, I wonder? I need some time alone. Thank you for your visit. Please leave. Oh, okay. Good boy. My brother really never really shared our beliefs. His faith was non-existent for as long as I can remember. So our parents told me he was destined for a life of crime, suffering, and regret. My brother would always scream back, "My only regret is being born in a cult." I'm not sure what he meant by that. But one day, he left and never came back. Born into a cult would be a cool song name. Boy giggles at your comment. Born into a cult? A song name? My brother would have said the same thing. Cultborn would be cool. Do we continue? Death to all cults, there's always a silver lining. Maybe we continue. Cultborn would be a cool band name. Yeah, well, I wouldn't really know. I wish I was good at music, but I've never really been good at much of anything. All I was taught was to be good to others in the name of a higher being. Though now that higher being is gone, my purpose is gone too. My parents always said that those without faith will inevitably turn to evil. And now that mine is gone, oh, I'm not sure when it's gonna happen though. I imagine one day I'll wake up and my first thought will be, today I will commit mischief. And then burn down a building or steal candy from a child. Those are two extremely different levels of mischief. Can we introduce the good boy to Lydia? It might help. I mean, I can't control where they go, but I think Lydia might be good boy's brother. Because he did say that his brother used to steal his mom's dresses. Oh, you see that in the newspapers. Someone really evil that does something so terrible, so abhorrent. And soon, it's my turn to be in the newspaper. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to hurt anyone. Please help me. Oh, interesting. And the guitar he used the tools to fix. Yeah, and the guitar. And yeah, his brother played the guitar. So that's what has me pondering. And he said he doesn't know where his brother is. So like, maybe like, they just never left. No, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it was good, but... Looks like we're lacking something important. We should come back later when we have more stuff to say. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll come back then. Do you say anything different? No. I'm gonna go sit on the bench. Just for a wee moment. You're new. Oh, well, okay, hold on. One thing at a time. Let me rest. Yeah, but it's free here. Oh. How do I untangle thoughts? Thank you. First. Oh.
So cute.
That's so cute. One level of burnout removed. Okay. Oh. We loved each other. That'll do. But we used to. Ew.
Okay.
Oh, what's this? Hi. Sorry, pal. Registration is closed for now. Nothing personal, of course. We're just at capacity. 11 times where it's important we be there for each other, sure. Which is great until the whole town is squeezed into a single room every week. What do you mean? Is this a club or something? Sort of. This is a community center. Originally, it was just a place for people to meet and make new friends. But with the way things have been going lately, like everyone's gasping for air. More than welcome to visit, but the weekly club is over capacity. Sorry about that. Oh, we met everyone in Lotown. Okay, so we went to go see Goodboy. We probably need to go see... I don't remember where Puppy was. Sounds like she's singing. Sky is black with diesel fumes. The water's boiling in the sea. Oh? Hey, it's you again. No, I forgot to ask. What are you gonna do with your new poetry skills? Is everything okay? Huh? Of course. I'm slow, really. I'm just singing a song I wrote, like usual. Sometimes someone drops me a coin or two. Nice to get pocket change, but... You know, that reminds me. There's this rough-looking guy once. Sat in front of me for an entire hour while I was playing. I was so excited you don't understand. No one listened to me for that long before. I thought I was finally getting the attention I deserve. So when I was done, I tried talking to him. Turns out he'd fallen asleep while sitting upright. As soon as he woke up, he asked me for booze money. I think about that a lot. I've got 21 followers online, and all of them are my friends and coworkers. Try really hard to write music that means something. Nothing sticks. This morning, I woke up to 5 clicks on my new album. 5 clicks. How am I supposed to make a living off of this? Am I fated to be a cashier for the rest of my life? Popular musicians write the most generic repetitive crap in existence for millions, while I pour my heart out and get nothing. I keep telling people, you don't got time, you make time. I made time for years. Where has it gotten me? The environments in this game give like world ends with you a bit. Yes, actually. I get like the world ends with you meets Friday Night Funkin'. I think that's what it's called. Here's what people say. I care. I care so goddamn much, it's unreal. I know the cool thing to say is I don't care what anyone thinks. That's a big fat lie, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Tired of pretending all the time. No one cares about my music. Why should I continue making it? My second option is to be a little silly. Yeah. Let's get back on topic. Sorry, I'm kinda ass at this. Gotta keep grinding. Just keep grinding. Even before I escaped my hometown, I wrote and played music. How long is it gonna take? Last thing I want to do is give up. With how things are going right now, I don't know. What's the point? Never breaking into the music industry. Maybe I should retire and say I gave it my best shot. That doesn't sound so bad right now. Are you throwing on I'm not. I don't know how to talk to people. I made time for years and where has it gotten me? All these answers kind of suck. Yeah, I can. Okay, smarty pants, whatever you say. Okay? What if you sounded less sure of yourself? Oh, I wish I had a book like that in real life. Kara wants to show off her lovely voice, so she says more lines this way. I'm genuinely not trying to throw. If you ever wonder why I sound really awkward in talking, like speaking to people in conversations, I think this game is very evident on the reason why. He's doing it for the content, I'm not. And you're just now telling us this, Lydia? Don't worry, Cherry. I suck at conversations. You high five. I don't know, this game is a little funky even with dialogue in. Wouldn't use it as a base for real. I mean, it's also fair. I haven't noticed you be awkward when talking with me. So, if I can type my messages, I'm generally more okay. Because, like, I'll read and reread that like 500 times before I send it. But, like, when I'm talking, it's just like word vomit. It's word vomit and then me trying to play 5D chess and trying to figure out what the other person wants me to say. My only interactions with you are me typing and you talking, so you seem to be doing alright. Thanks. Word vomit for free? Are you really sorry? I'm the opposite. I'm worse typing and better speaking. I feel like, well, I don't feel like most people. I feel like it's kind of evenly split. Like, there are some people who are just like really good at talking, and there's some people that aren't. I definitely fall in the latter one. Like, I'm okay if there's like, I'm like okay most of the time, but like, I do feel really awkward a lot of times. I agree. I don't know. I hear you, but like, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Attitudes aren't what we need. Oh, right. You told me to sound less sure. Anxious? What? That's ridiculous. No one needs booze. Not that I know his backstory or anything, but like, if you're gonna drink, you should do it to have fun. Now I'm drunk, I always have the time of my life. That is what booze should be for. Same could be said for music. No, that's not. That's different. I need to make a living off of it. Those successful musicians own massive mansions. They go to fancy clubs and parties. They eat at the most expensive restaurants. They have rabid fan bases and, God, they live in yachts. Not that I want to live in a yacht, but you get my point. I just want to not worry about money for rent, food, transportation, medical bills, insurance, clothes, instrument repairs, all while doing music. I gotta keep working and working until I make it. That's the only way to become successful. Are we trying to make her be introspective, or are we just trying to cheer her on? Are we trying to be a little cheerleader? I think we're trying to help her be a bit more introspective, right? Has that worked out for you? What? Are you making a dig at me? I helped you. I was nice to you. Now you're acting like a jerk? Why? I'm not trying to. Who do you make music for? Oh, I didn't think that'd be right. I write music for I don't know. I haven't really known for a while. I write what I feel, but I don't know who I'm writing it to. What am I making music for? Is it for money? Fame? A living? None of those have worked. Why hasn't it worked out? When I was young, I used to write music for my little brother. He loved it. Oh, it is! He'd spend hours just listening to my performances. But we parted ways a long time ago. Oh, honey, hold my hand. I'm gonna bring you to him. Maybe you should write music for your brother again. Yeah. God, I haven't seen him in so long. We grew up in a cult. Every day I had to fight my parents over some inane crap. Don't do this, don't do that. It was suffocating. I would play music for my brother and we'd sing together in my room. Laughed a lot while singing too. He always got the words wrong. Then my parents really blew up at me one day, all because I painted my nails. And on that day, I decided to run away. Oh, I thought about it a lot before. But on that day, I was cemented. Could not live there anymore. I refuse to live there anymore. My biggest regret is leaving him behind. But he'll be okay. Cults aren't so bad if you fit in. And he's the biggest goody two-shoes I know. I just wish that I want to write a song that captures how I felt about growing up there. I think it will go something like this. I'm godless but with heart, and you're heartless with your God. Hosting our mutual surrender, you and your heaven locked in a box. Me and Hill wear my bright orange sock. Through the moonlit window of my room I look up, while you on your pews praise a golden cup. Obsessed with your emblems of love, but not the love they're emblems of. Among the stars and earth and trees you sing and laud your joy of truth. But all I hear is the lack thereof. I feel so bad for them. Wait, where am I supposed to go? Fall off the edge? No. I don't hear a door, right? Where am I supposed to go? Hello? Oh, here. A letter from the Grand Archive of Moments dated 94593EX. Oh. We have found great levels of activity from this world. And yet our scouts have been unable to pick up on any meaningful mortal life to extract moments from. You are operating in Grand Archival plane space. Failure to provide a sufficient level of moments to extract will result in planar obliteration? Please rectify this issue immediately. We will continue monitoring you. Sorry, I keep jumping because the interact button is the same as the jump button. Sign, the Collector. Unlock Sage. I like hanging out in the train station. No one ever really comes or goes anymore, so it's usually really quiet. Good place to sit and think. Think I'll head there next. I will... Brother? Good boy. I must bring you to your... sibling. Okay. I got you. I got you. Sage. I'm godless but with heart. Huh? What are you doing? And you're heartless with your God. Oh my. Hosting our mutual surrender, you and your heaven locked in a box. And me in hell, wearing my bright orange socks. Wow. You see tears welling up in his eye. Whoa. Oh. Oh, I see. I spend my days patching holes, righting collapsed buildings obscured by the smoke and shadows, aligning infrastructure, righting crooked paths. I need not touch the monuments, the great murals. Their beauty whips me into a fervor. I do everything I can to protect them, to sustain them. Oh, Amp, I love you. Ixus? I don't seem to want to talk to anymore. Come with me. Follow me. Thank you. I needed someone to stop me out of my reverie. I can only fool myself for so long. Now that I think about it, I feel kind of embarrassed. I was so focused on trying to make it big, and because of that, I forgot the reason I even make music in the first place. It's freeing though. Hiding even. I can sing about whatever I want. What will you sing about? I want to finish this current song first. I really like the direction it's going, but it needs some work. I need to figure out chord progression, melody, more lyrics, etc. Imagine the faces of those back home if they heard this. I'm never going back. Honestly, they might not even let me leave. Shame too. I'd love to rescue my brother from that place. Maybe just take him on a vacation to the city. See the sights, take the underground train, sneak on top of a skyscraper. But he's probably so indoctrinated by now that he wouldn't dream of leaving. Your brother is fine! I kinda wanna do that one. Oh, wow. You say that with such conviction. How would you even know that? God has abandoned us and your brother seeks his last comfort you. You should definitely try different. No, this one. Okay, so first off, if literally anyone else had said that, I would have been really weirded out. But for some reason, when you say it, almost like I'm convinced it's true. But I can't see him again. He wouldn't even recognize me. I used to be different. And I doubt he'd be cool with that. He would not kick it. Why is this one just always yelling? Don't fear growing slow. No, that doesn't make sense here. Yeah, he would not care. He's still in our home village. Quite frankly, he's better off there. He's fully indoctrinated now. One who removes mountain dust while carrying so ominous. Do you wish to meet him today? What? No, I mean... Lydia laughs hesitantly. Yeah, Listen. Thank you for giving me hope like that. I'd love nothing more to meet him again, but... Lydia begins to tremble. How? Why do I believe you? There's no way. There's just no way. Go to the cafe. He will meet you there. Oh my god. Okay. I'll be there. I mean, I should at least give it a look. Look can't hurt, right? Yeah. It wouldn't hurt to look. Alright, I'll be there. But you better not be lying to me. This is a ruse. Yeah, I'll be there. I really hope you're telling the truth. I am. Believe in me. Trust me. I would never do you dirty. Not to Goodboy. I don't fucking remember how. Is there... Can you give me a shortcut? Cafe? Is this cafe? Shit, this is not cafe. Which one's cafe? Cafe? Map? You know what? That might be helpful. Oh. Were you always here? But there's one thing I don't understand. What did you mean when you said orange socks? Oh, means to live freely without expectation from others. Really? I still don't understand. How can a pair of socks carry something so full of meaning? If your biggest worry in life is the color of your socks, and you must live comfortably.
So real.
Is that too mean? That feels a little too mean. I feel like maybe that's needed though. Whoa. That's such a good point. Could never think of that. There's so much wisdom in your words. Did you write those lyrics? They belong to Lydia, a singer that hangs around sometimes. Lydia. I'd like to meet her. Is there more to the song? I would really love to hear the rest. Beauty in those lyrics. Lydia must be the wisest person in the world. Maybe she could answer some questions I've been wrestling with. Meet her at the cafe. I'll be waiting for you. Gladly. I'll be there as soon as I can. Oh, I should hurry. Yes. Sibling meetup. You said Matt? They are both all the way up there. Oh, okay, the cafe's all the way up here then. It was in the place that I was at earlier. Is it fucking... Are you not a cafe? Oh, there was more. Hello. You must be Lydia. Yeah, that's me. Nice to meet you. I've heard that you hang around a lot. You're a musician, right? I mean, obviously. I should have guessed. You brought your guitar with you and everything. How long have you been playing? A long time. Since childhood, really. I see. What's a long time to be playing? You could say that. Surely you're really famous. You'd be surprised. Oh, you must be even better than I thought. Goodness. Oh, I'm not bothering you, am I? No. Sorry, I mean, I don't mind. Oh, good. I get a bit worried about that sometimes. I'm glad you're not bothered. Sorry. You don't have to apologize for everything all the time. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait, I only said sorry once. You just have that kind of energy, you know? Oh, I knew you were wise. Sure. Anyway, if it's not too much to ask, I would like to request something from you, if that's okay. Yep. Could you sing a song for me? The one with the orange socks? If that's okay, I don't want to ask too much. No, it's alright. But I want a question answered in return. Oh, of course. What is it? He's so precious. What's your name? Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Goodboy. I'm from Candlehold Village. Pretty far away. Oh my god. Is something the matter? I've got another question for you. Sure, what is it? Do you recognize me? I'm not sure I do. Wait, there's something familiar about you. Have I met you before? What do you think? I mean, maybe you visited my home at some point? Or maybe I've passed you in the city? I'm not sure. Maybe you'll come to me later. Ugh. Davey, you goddamn dork, it's me. Huh? What? I'm your sister. We grew up together. We'd sing music in my room. We'd snatch apples during the feast even though you didn't want to. I kicked Meyer in the face when he bullied you. And you were such a little crybaby that you felt bad for him. Huh? What? How do you know all that? I don't have a sister. Do I? Yes, you do. I was always your sister, GB. We just didn't know it at the time. Why do you think I used to steal Mom's old dress? Goodness. She was convinced we had ghosts. The priest had to come over and ward our house by sprinkling water on her furniture. Whoa. I remember that. Yeah. It was the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't think Mother was very happy about it. Well, she can choke on the dress for all I care. Both her and Dad. God, they gave us such terrible names, too. I much prefer my current one. Lydia. I just can't believe I have a sister. Yeah, you do. Lydia hesitates for a moment. What do you think about that? I think it's cool. Wait, really? Yes, I've always wanted a sister. If I had known, I would have picked you flowers and made you a wreath. Maybe with those bluebells in the backyard? Ooh, or maybe I'd have grabbed you one of those bracelets everyone had. The ones with the colorful rocks, you know? You're such a dork. Oh, did you not want that? Sorry, I'm new to having a sister. Oh, he's so precious. Oh my god, he's so precious. Oh. No, it's okay. You know, it's not too late to do any of that. I know this florist with gorgeous selection. Can head there later if you want. Oh, I would love to. I have so many ideas for things I could make you. The deal then. I've got a couple questions for you though. The last thing I'd have ever imagined is you leaving home. What made you come here? Well, it's hard to explain. I think we're alone now. Alone? This is a cafe in the middle of Lotown. We're far from alone. No, I mean, no one is watching over us anymore. We're all alone in this world. It's you, me, and everyone else in the city. And also those at home. Huh. So you lost your faith then? You don't understand. There's nothing left to have faith in. Whoever was up there, I could feel them. They were there. And now they're gone. Sounds like you're just as godless as me then. Right on, buddy. Quite chill, being watched over all the time. Especially when showering. But how do you deal with evil temptations? What's stopping you from doing something really bad? Because I don't want to? Huh? Oh my god. Dumbass. You don't need God to be nice to people. I've got a lot to teach you. Where are you staying, by the way? I've got an apartment by the park. I also work as a cashier to pay for it. Oh man. Now that is funny. You have the exact same job as me. How in the world did you land that with no experience? Well, our uncle used to work there. He made a phone call and got me the spot. Damn it! Can't believe I didn't think of it. That would have made things so much easier 10 years ago. Listen, why don't you come to my place tomorrow? We can catch up more, play songs together, have a nice meal, you know? I love that. Oh, and you can show me the florist, too. I'm really happy to see you again, JB. Me too. Don't run away like that again, okay? If you don't mind, that is. Wouldn't dream of it. Oh. You want me to admit that was cute, don't you? Well, look, we did a good thing. But we're still no closer to figuring out what happened to this god. We should go check if the track is clear yet so we can move on from here. Not that there's anything wrong with here, just we have a job to do. A dumb, stupid, impossible job. Yeah.
Hey, it's you, the weird animal thing. The breeze is clear now. This train's gonna reach terminus like no train ever has before. Your boss is paying. So, whenever you like, that is. Wanna get out of here?
Yeah.
Alright, get comfy, weird dog, cat, animal thing. On to the next station. That was so heartwarming, it really was. That was really cute.
What a mess. I've never seen anything like it. Whole world just left to rot. What kind of god are we trying to find exactly? And it doesn't feel like we're any closer to figuring out what happened to them. Our best lead is probably the weird moments you've been extracting. If you can keep doing that with all the people we meet, we might be able to piece something together.
You hear a gigantic crashing noise. The train halts suddenly.
Oh, come on. What is it now? This place reeks and I hate it. But at least someone lives here. We should snoop around. You can do your thing. You know, that thing you're good at. Might be our only hope at this point. What the hell happened?
So, we hit a guy. Yep.
What?
A guy?
That's a whole guy under the wheels.
Is he... No.
You hear a muffled voice from down below.
I'm okay. Just...
You asshole, first time the train runs in aeons and you decide now is a good time to play on the tracks?
Izzy, I think I need help.
Nothing in life is easy. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Look, kid, service is out until this guy gets the hell out of the way. I'll try to get him to come to his senses. Don't wander too far, this place looks rough. Okay, this is a perfect spot to end. Since we're in a whole new place. Funky City. Just menu. I guess it automatically saves. This game has so much charm. I had a good feeling. Like when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks funky as hell. But also like, I'm kind of digging the vibe. I wasn't expecting such a heartwarming story for the first one. I know there's like, I want to say like 2 or 3 more worlds. But I'm wondering like what other stories are going to come up. I know the overarching story is like where the gods went on this world, but actually I don't even know how we're gonna track them down. I think the shadow that showed up when we first got into town was one of the gods, if I remember right. But it seemed weird. Like, 1, why did it greet us? And also 2, why did it get all weird when we're like, who are you? You're just like, oh, sorry, never mind, I'll leave. I wonder what happened. I'm excited to check out the rest of this game. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day or night wherever you are. If it is nighttime for you, I hope you have a good night's rest, sweet dreams. But if it is not nighttime for you, or if you don't plan on going to bed anytime soon, I hope you are enjoying your week. Hopefully you guys have a long weekend coming up. If I don't see y'all tomorrow, I will see y'all next time, whenever that may be. Hope you guys stay kind to yourself and to others like y'all always do. And I will see y'all at some point. Bye 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 bye.